we will have dinner from now till approximately 8:15, about that, and then Haroon's going to come and start off why we're really here, which is to honor our 2012 5 finalists. Now, some of you, how many of you were judges this year? If I could get a show of hands. So quite a few of you were judges. And judges have a very tough job because the caliber of competition improves every year. So last year we did this, and we thought we'd do it again, which is actually have each of you hear the 1-minute pitch so that you can mentally decide what your top, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will be. And then after you've got a chance to mentally do that, we will actually do the awards distribution starting at about 8:45, and we'll try to do that very efficiently, and we'll try to recognize the many good sponsors that we have who sponsor these awards. Without that sponsorship, we would not be able to proceed. I do want to recognize, because I see that our newly appointed senators, Senator Asha Seth and Dr. Seth, have arrived, so if I could get them to stand. Congratulations, Dr. Seth. It's a great honor to have you with us, a great supporter of TiE and the community. So enjoy your dinner. Now, I have to tell you a secret. So this is, Navneet tells you how he's trying to manipulate his wife, and I actually happen to admit that I like coffee. And the coffee that I like is the coffee that my husband brews. He buys it from a fair trade Mexican dealer. He brews it every morning for me, and he brings it to me so that I can mainline the coffee. Because he knows that if we are to have a civil morning, I need my cup of coffee. And I suggested that I knew I was spoiled, and that the best way to guarantee a wife fidelity and love is to spoil her rotten so that no other man could take her on. So I recommend that to you because it's worked for us for 22 years and hopefully will work for you too. There you go. To hear where they have placed. For all of the teams who participated, I hope it's been a great experience. It's been a long journey as the entry deadlines are in the beginning of December, and it's a long process to get here. We hope it's been a learning process and a growth process for all of the participants, those who are in this room and those who are not here with us. We know that Suresh Madhan had a vision for TiEQuest, and it is our good friend, co-board member, Haroon Mirza, who has taken on that challenge and vision for 2012. Haroon is Director of Business Development at Intel. He is a prior TiEQuest contestant, and his memory is so bad he can't even remember when he was a TiEQuest contestant. He brought his company Cognivision into the competition, and while it did not win that year, it certainly placed well, and he learned a great deal. Cognivision was ultimately acquired by Intel in 2010. Haroon offered to volunteer and help us, and we just decided to make him a board member. He is the youngest ever TiE Toronto board member, and an important and fabulous one. Haroon, in my view, represents the next generation. 20+ years ago, TiE Global, or TiE, was founded with a simple idea that experienced entrepreneurs would assist the next generation of entrepreneurs. And Haroon Mirza is definitely the next generation, and he's giving back to the generation that follows. I asked him what he likes to do. And I was hoping for an answer, I don't know, bungee jumping, scuba diving, something like that. His passion is, in fact, mentoring and coaching startups and young entrepreneurs. He finds Thai a great vehicle for that, obviously, so thank you for choosing us. But he reminds me of that saying that a happy person is that for whom work and play has no distinction, because his passion really is what he does both in his day job, his evening job, his in-between job. I would be remiss in not congratulating Haroon and Zara on their engagement and their upcoming nuptials on July 6th. So what Haroon does for fun is pick out flowers, color schemes, groomsmen's outfits, food choices, and the 1,001 details that go into making a wedding a memorable occasion, a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to share your love and celebrate it with those who love you. So Haroon and Zara, congratulations. In this busy year, Haroon, we are indeed grateful that you would tear yourself from your beautiful bride-to-be to spend that time at TiEQuest to make it the memorable competition it has been in 2012. And with that introduction, I would like Haroon Mirza to take the podium. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Nina, for those kind words. So folks, I want to be pretty quick over here for you. How did we do in TiEQuest 2012? It was our biggest competition to date. We had 181 entries from over 275 entrepreneurs. The competition was simultaneously held in Toronto as well as Cleveland, and we had contestants representing 51 different municipalities in Canada and the US. We had a diverse range of projects this year. 40% of entries were from the information and communications technology space, with a particularly strong showing from the mobile sector, social media, and gaming. We had 21% of entrants from the healthcare space, a very strong showing there, followed by lifestyle and clean tech with 7% and 6%. And then what we categorized, the 26% remaining as other. Now, mentoring is a huge component of TiEQuest. We have 30 different mentors involved. These are entrepreneurs, business leaders, advisors, and Thai charter members who volunteered their time to actually help coach, mentor, and guide the upcoming entrepreneurs. So mentoring is so critical because it helps an entrepreneur polish their ideas, it challenges their ideas, and it helps them articulate what it is that they're trying to achieve. And I want to give a big thank you out to the mentors. If I could please have a little round of applause. Next, we have judges. We had over 70 judges, venture capitalists, angel investors, fund managers, and other business leaders as well. Now, the judges volunteered their weekends, their evenings, and spent hours and hours and hours, diligently looking at business plans, the project profiles, watching the actual contestants pitch, and then deliberating on who ultimately would become the finalists that will come up on stage today. So to these judges, again, a big, big thank you again. If I could get another round of applause. Now, we can't put on TiEQuest without cash sponsors. And we had some wonderful organizations support us, all of whose logos are up on the screen right now. So thank you to our sponsors. We have in-kind sponsors too. And these are the organizations that help provide value-added services to the winners of the competition. So consulting, coaching, legal advice, and so on and so forth, which is just so critical to helping companies succeed. And then to our Gala sponsors. These 5 organizations have helped make tonight happen. So a big, big thank you to you, and a special shout out to Fasken Martineau for being the host of every single TiEQuest event this year, and to graciously donate their office space to us. So thank you to all sponsors again. So folks, I said I was going to be pretty quick, so I think we'll move on now to the fun part of the evening. We're going to meet the finalists. So Nina, would you like to come up on stage and introduce them? Thank you.
What Haroon, of course, didn't mention is the hours of work he put in, the weekends and evenings he took away from being a good fiancé or a good Intel employee, and donated to us, so thank you very much. So, as I promised you, some of you who are judges have actually seen a bit of this. Some of you who are not are going to get a treat. You're going to actually see a little snippet of what we experienced in TiEQuest 2012. And what we've decided to do is do it in pure alphabetical order. So we're not telling, we're not hinting. And so the order of presentations are going to be Gematria. So I'd like to call Abraham Heifetz to the stand. Our next speaker will be from iGuiders, Chaz Napoli. The third speaker will be Dr. Vito Forte from AutoSim. Our fourth speaker will be Diana Plura from Simple Systems. And our final speaker will be Arash Sofla of Ufludics. And because we're on a tight timeline, I'm going to ask the people who are going to speak and do their pitch to actually come up here and wait, and we'll do one after another. So Abraham Heifetz, Gematria, if you could come up, please. There you go. 1 minute.
1 minute. Good evening. My name is Abraham Heifetz. I'm representing Gematria. And we write software to make drug discovery more efficient. Because the world needs new medicines, and that's true whether you care about global diseases that affect billions of people, such as HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis, or if you care about diseases endemic to the developed world, the kind of things that worry us here in this room, things like cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. To find a new drug today, we will test literally millions of molecules for each disease target. And this is tremendously inefficient because the fraction that will work is 1% of a percent. What you want to do is replace test tubes with software. What you want is a way, without running the experiment, to say, ignore that 90% of molecules. There's no chance they're going to work. Focus on this best 10%. And that's what we do. So this is a good idea. It is not my idea. People have been working on this for about 30 years. But the critical point is accuracy. And on every test we run, we are more accurate than the alternatives. Thank you.
Okay. So our next speaker is Chaz Napoli of iGuiders.
Good evening. Hopefully the shine from that camera light off my head won't hurt anybody out there. My name's Chaz Napoli. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. And my business is all about helping people find what they're looking for online or with a mobile device quicker and easier. I'm sure everyone in the room has had an experience of trying to find a product or service with their mobile device or iPad or desktop or laptop, gotten frustrated and abandoned. It's hard to believe, but half of all sales online are lost because of that experience. So iGuiders' mission is to help our clients cut a big swath out of that lost sales by guiding you with a guided search in 3 to 5 lifestyle or benefit questions to find what you're looking for quicker and easier and convert your interest. Thank you.
So our third speaker is Dr. Vito Forte of AutoSim.
My name is Dr. Vito Forte. I'm an otolaryngologist, head and neck surgeon at the Hospital for Sick Children, and I noticed there was an ant vibes in the competition. Ant technology takes the guesswork out of pronouncing unfamiliar names. So I'd like the audience to think about otorhinolaryngology and say it 10 times. Anyways, I'm not an entrepreneur or businessman, but I'm a surgeon, a physician, and I know there's a big problem with diagnostics in otologic care. That's diseases of the ear. And we have developed a technology that will improve the diagnostic ability of our medical students and doctors and nurses and otologists, audiologists, anybody who deals with diseases of the ear. That will improve the diagnostic efficiency from 40%, that's right, 40%, to up to about 85% in a 2-hour session. So that's our product. We are already local. In our third-year medical students are obliged to work on the simulator for their sessions during their training, and we've gone national. international, in the United States, major medical centers, and we are going global. So we're the guys to watch. The other thing is that I hope you don't realize that 100% of the people in this audience will sometimes, at some time in their life, will see somebody like me. There's 180 of us in the province of Ontario, and you have a 50% chance of making the right diagnosis when you see your family doctor. So about 80% of the people in this room have seen a physician for an ear-related disease. I hate to tell you that half of those diagnoses were incorrect, so you were treated incorrectly. $5 billion were spent on antibiotics that were not necessary, and you suffered. So our job is to stop suffering, so that's what we're doing. Thank you.
Okay, so I admit I let him go a bit longer, but that's because my daughter does get ear infections, so I did want to know a little bit more of what I should know. Our next, thank you, Dr. Forte. If I could call Deanna Plura to the stand of Simple Systems. Thank you.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce Simple Systems. I'm the CEO. Simple Systems is dedicated to transforming the lives of patients who have devastating effects of stroke or spinal cord injury. Our first product, Reclaim, actually treats and reverses the paralysis that these patients suffer. We have had 2 clinical studies where we've been able to have severely paralytic arms restore their movement. What this does, it means the patients can regain their ability to do activities of daily living and regain their independence. It's a huge benefit to them. We came to TiEQuest. We're currently trying to raise $1.6 million, and the reason for that is I need regulatory approval so that I can take this to the global market and treat the 5 million stroke patients globally that have paralysis every year. Thank you.
And finally, last but not least, Arash Sofla of Ufluidics.
Thank you, Ty and Ufluidics team. Lab-on-a-chips are emerging handheld devices that allow analysis of tiny amount of samples. You put a little droplet of blood and says HIV positive or negative, or cancer positive or negative. However, the growth of this multi-billion-dollar industry is limited by high manufacturing cost of chips. Ufluidics has developed a disruptive technology that for the first time removes this bottleneck. And so our technology allows high quality and low cost manufacturing of these chips for the first time in silicon. Currently, we manufacture and sell these products in our own facility and sell to top international clients in the US. We started with 30K. We have almost 200K revenue now. Give me 1 million and see what happens.